Commissioners and staff spent time at June's last meeting talking about the test pile program. Piles are long metal structures driven into bedrock to support the bridge piers. A test pile program will place piles where the new bridge will be built, while learning how construction may affect the old bridge. And that includes whether the old bridge may need to be shut down during construction. Mike Shannon described reasons for the test pile program.
We could set the threshold. Is the bridge going to have to shut down while they start their pile driving?
We've talked about that as far as just mitigation, that
Test
when we do
piles.
the test pile program, until we see how things react, that we would shut it down during the test pile driving. If we go out there and do the test pile program and there's absolutely no movement observed at all, then we may not have a concern at all. Anywhere in between there could be what you just said, that we got to shut it down every time we drive a pile, to we don't have to shut down at all. That's one of the reasons in doing the test pile program, is to see. Nobody can tell you right now how much impact the construction is going to have on the existing bridge. And without doing some testing, you won't know that answer.
To be ready for the test pile work in January 2027, a lot needs to happen between now and August.
When do we expect to see at least the draft structure of the test pile?
James, do you have an answer for that?
There's quite a few things that we're trying to get worked out, Mike, to make sure we include everything that's necessary. Some of that is the environmental requirements that are going to be required during the test pile program, understanding like what water quality measures need to be taken and things like that. We have submitted a draft.
Well, right now, we know we're not going to get in the water to do the test piles until at least January. And part of that is held up on the procurement timeframes to get the materials. So I don't know, James, if you've got a full schedule of when you need to have the test pile plan approved in order to get the test piles here and materials here in order to get the actual testing done.
Yeah, there's some components that take like 10 weeks to get procured. So we were thinking August is when we needed to know that information, but we can't get into the water until we get the permits. That's the longest pole in the tent.
With this test pile program, will the result of it be something that can actually be used on the bridge?
But yes, the intent is that Kiewit is trying to place the temporary stuff that we put in the test pile. There's 16 piles in a place that they could be reused.
Okay.
Now, that said, when we talk to the permitting agencies, they will only allow that to stay so long. So it just adds to the need to get out and do the construction as soon as possible so that we can take advantage of that.
Long discussion about which agency should describe thresholds of concern for the old bridge followed. Issues around liability, insurance, construction schedules, understanding risks, and making sense of the monitoring equipment and data all came into play. Mike Fox described why he thought HDR, the port's engineering firm, was best suited for that role.
Have to have a discussion with the port, and hopefully we can convince the port to bring in HDR into the meeting that says we intend to monitor the bridge as we're going through our test pile program. We will have a baseline stats of the current bridge and how it currently moves. When we start pounding piles next to one of their foundations, we can see what is happening to that particular pier. We're going to need some help from HDR. We think it's HDR, but it's up to you, Port. You own the bridge.
That seemed to make sense, but apparently people working with the Bridge Authority have learned that HDR isn't interested in monitoring the old bridge and making recommendations about when to stop or proceed with construction.
It doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means HDR doesn't want to do it.
That led Mike Fox to propose a different way of looking at the problem.
So let's take this back just a little bit. Let's say we didn't have a monitoring system.
Yeah.
In a normal project, we say, okay, Kiewit, you're authorized to go build us a new bridge. Oh, by the way, don't mess the old bridge up.
You could do that. That's exactly how BNSF did their bridge down here.
So it's up to Kiewit, and it's Kiewit's liability not to hurt the bridge.
That's right.
Now, what we're doing with the monitoring system and a test pile program is to lower the risk that something's going to happen to it, which Kiewit would build in their fixed price contract.
Correct.
So theoretically, we're saving money by doing what we're trying to do.
That was the original intent.
So now we just got to get everybody back together and re-educate, why are we doing this?
Sure.
And I kind of like your idea, Kiewit, this is to your benefit. This is reducing risk on your project. We're paying you to go do it. Go do it.
We would have to, there would have to be a contract with Kiewit for them to do the test pile program, because it's not in 1B, right?
Correct.
So that means
We got to do it
we
anyway.
got to do it anyway. Why wouldn't we just include this in that contract?
So what do you want to include in this contract?
That Kiewit monitors the impact on the bridge while they do the test pile program.
After the long discussions, there was agreement that a committee of Bridge Authority commissioners plus engineering staff would meet with port engineers and some port staff and make recommendations on what the next step should be. We should hear more about that in the July 13th meeting.